Hi, I'm James Muir, and this is a screencast from Make More Noise. As I mentioned in our last screencast, we've got some building work going on next door, so any strange extraneous noises are nothing to do with the screencast, it's just the workmen. But in that spirit, we're going to have a look at something really noisy today. It's a new free plugin from a company called Soundtoys, who you've probably heard of. They've got a fantastic reputation for their analogness in the world of digital. And what they've done is given away a free compressor called Devil Loc. They're actually calling it an audio level destroyer, which gives you an idea of where they're coming from. You'll need to dig out a free code to find this, but I'm sure if you have a look around Facebook or Twitter or on the forums, you should be able to find a free code. Then you need to sign up for an account, or if you've got an account already, on the Soundtoys site, that'll be fine. The one caveat to this is you do need an iLok copy protection key. So if you haven't got an iLok and you don't want to buy one, this is not going to be for you, this screencast. So where are we? Well, as usual, I've done a little bit of prep work before we started. So I've got Superior Drummer loaded up with a basic kit, and I've dragged in some MIDI, and I've got the Soundtoys Devil Loc in bypass, which leaves us sounding like this. Pretty standard fare, and let's just have a quick look at the interface here. You've got two rotary controls, crush and crunch. And very basically, crush is the amount of compression and crunch is makeup gain. But it's a little bit more complicated than that. As you crush, you're sort of crushing the transients as you'd expect with a compressor. And the crunch would normally make up the gain, so you add back any level you've removed with compression. But in this case, crunch also adds a bit of distortion, as does the crush. So there's a little bit of interaction between the controls. So what I've got up here is one of the presets that comes bundled, which is called Touch of Evil. And as you can see, we've got the crunch set to just below 3 and no crush, which gives us a sound like this. There you go, anything but subtle. And you can actually do the same thing but the other way round. So 0 makeup gain or crunch, and just crush it a little bit below 3, which will give you compression, but won't add the distortion on the makeup. And obviously the third way you can use it is to have the crush and the crunch control both engaged. I'm just going to knock the gain back a little bit on the channel strip because I know we've made it louder. Let's just knock it back by sort of 3 dB-ish. And this time obviously we're going to get compression because we've got the crush control just below 3, and we're also going to get a bit of distortion in the makeup because we've got the crunch control at just under 3 as well. So, as you can hear, it's a noisy little beast. Now, that obviously is the most straightforward and linear usage of it, is just to have it on an insert on a channel and apply the processing to whatever sound you want to use. But I think where it's probably going to get the most use for me is actually on an aux send, or a bus, as they're now called in Logic. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to move our Devil Loc that we've got on instrument 1 here across to the bus. And I've obviously got the bus control set to 0 at the moment, so nothing is being sent from the bus to the aux. But what this enables us to do is it enables us to dial in an amount of dirt and distortion we want. So I'm going to pick a pretty extreme preset out of the ones they've got here. This one's called Meaty Beats. So let's just solo the aux bus, and I'll send a sort of decent amount of level to it. Let's go for -12, and you'll hear that this will be very affected, distorted, and quite heavily pumping. bypass that again for a second and just listen to the beat on its own. So what the purpose of this is, it now enables us to mix an amount of the distorted sound in underneath the clean sound we've got. So we're going to get the best of both worlds. We're going to get the distortion and compression from the Devil Loc, but we're also going to have the clean attack and transients of the original sound. And using the bus send control, we can balance between them. This is sometimes called parallel compression or NY compression. You hear it referred to occasionally. So what you'll see here is me fiddling with the bus control until I get a balance between the original unprocessed sound and the parallel distortion and compression we're generating with the Devil Loc. Just take it out of bypass. So hopefully you should be able to hear from that demonstration that you can use it pseudo-subtly. So if you put something in parallel, you can mix it in with the original sound. Gives you a big impact in terms of distortion and compression, but you're not detracting from the original sound source. The other thing I feel obliged to mention, because I just thought it was so brilliant, was the little PDF that's downloadable from your account once you signed up for it. This is the instructions. It's literally a one-page PDF. It just reiterates basically what we said already, the crush and crunch control. You've then got the specifications. It's a fixed attack and release time on the basic version. But as you have it saturated, the release time increases. It's a freebie, so as with all of these things, there's no excuse for not finding yourself a code, downloading the license to your iLok, giving it a go and experimenting with it in whatever way you see fit. I've been James Muir. I hope you enjoy Soundtoys Devil Loc, and I hope this screencast was some use to introduce you to it. Thanks for watching.